Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the History Vault, our magic connection to the past. I'm Skylar Yore, and I have got the honor to speak with some of the greatest people in history. Today, our guest is none less than the great Gaius Julius Caesar.
It's a pleasure to be here, Skylar.
Caesar, thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. To begin, can you tell us a bit about your background and how you entered Roman politics?
I come from a noble patrician family, though it had lost some of its influence before I was born. Despite that, I was ambitious and determined to make my mark. I started my career in various roles, serving as a priest, lawyer, and eventually a military leader. These experiences gave me valuable political and military experience, and I gained the trust, the admiration, and the loyalty of my soldiers.
Speaking of military experience, your conquest of Gaul is legendary. Can you tell us about your tactics and how they led to such success?
Certainly. My approach emphasized swiftness and surprise. I would move my legions quickly and strike before the enemy could react. Additionally, I fostered strong bonds with my troops, which boosted their morale and fighting spirit. A prime example of this strategy is my victory at the Battle of Zela against Pharnaces the Secu of Pontus. Despite being outnumbered and having fewer resources, I led a surprise attack on his camp and emerged victorious in a very short but intense battle. This victory not only secured the region, but also allowed me to famously utter the phrase, Veni, Vidi, Vici. I came, I saw, I conquered.
That phrase of yours is indeed legendary. Now, let's explore some specifics of your leadership style, Julius. You mentioned inspiring admiration and loyalty. Can you elaborate on how you achieved that with your soldiers during the Gallic Wars?
Certainly. My victories in Gaul were hard-won, and my soldiers faced grueling conditions. I believe my charisma played a role. I wasn't just a commander issuing orders, I shared the dangers and hardships with my troops, which fostered a strong sense of camaraderie. They saw my determination and tactical brilliance firsthand, which likely inspired both admiration and trust.
An interesting point. You mentioned lots of different emotional situations you and your troops suffered during those wars. Can you give an example of how you used that as a leader?
A strong leader needs to be respected, and sometimes that means being feared as well. Take the example of the pirates who kidnapped me in my youth. After my release, I vowed to make them pay. I hunted them down and had them all punished harshly. That sent a clear message. I wouldn't tolerate defiance. This instilled fear in my enemies, but it also demonstrated my unwavering resolve, which some may have viewed as a kind of strength.
That's a fascinating perspective. It seems like you carefully balanced different leadership styles.
One must adapt their approach to the situation, don't you agree? Perhaps we can discuss another instance where my leadership style played a significant role. What other events are you interested in?
The story of you crossing the Rubicon River is legendary. Can you tell us more about the situation leading up to that fateful decision?
The relationship between the Senate and myself had grown strained, Skylar. There were those like Pompey who felt I had overstayed my welcome as governor in Gaul and threatened their power. The Senate ordered me to relinquish my army and return to Rome as a private citizen. I felt this was a politically motivated attack, a way to strip me of my influence.
That sounds like a difficult situation. What made you decide to defy the Senate's orders and cross the Rubicon?
The decision wasn't easy, Skylar. It meant civil war. But I believed I had the backing of my loyal legionnaires. They had fought valiantly with me in Gaul, and I had always treated them with respect. Their unwavering support gave me the strength to make that difficult choice.
That loyalty is indeed remarkable. Can you tell us if there was a specific event that triggered your decision to cross the Rubicon?
The Senate's final decree was the tipping point, Skylar. They declared me an enemy of Rome if I didn't disband my army. I felt I had no choice but to defend myself and my honor.
Thank you for elaborating on the events leading up to the Rubicon crossing. Now, let's shift gears and discuss your reputation for charisma. We mentioned your ability to inspire loyalty among your soldiers. Can you elaborate on how you achieved such a strong bond with your legions?
It wasn't about blind obedience, Skylar. I treated my soldiers with respect, valued their input, and shared the hardships of the campaign. They saw me not just as a commander, but as a leader who fought alongside them.
That's a fascinating perspective. Thank you for this enlightening insight into your charismatic leadership style. Can you tell us if this same charisma extended to the Roman people as well?
I believe so. I championed reforms that addressed the needs of the Roman citizens, like land redistribution. I also made efforts to connect with the public through public works projects and celebrations.
It seems your charisma played a significant role in your rise to power. Your accomplishments are truly legendary, but some might say your ambition has occasionally overshadowed other qualities. Can you tell us about a time when your determination to achieve a goal might have pushed the boundaries?
Determination, some might call it stubbornness, has certainly been a driving force in my life. Perhaps the time I crossed the Rubicon with my legions, defying the Senate's orders, was such an instance. I believed Rome needed strong leadership, and I was prepared to take a stand.
And some might say that same ambition led to your decision to become dictator for life. Wouldn't that position concentrate too much power in one person?
The Republic had been in turmoil for too long. A strong hand was needed to restore order and enact the reforms Rome needed. Perhaps I was too confident in my ability to unite the people.
There are also concerns about your treatment of those who opposed you. The Gauls during your campaigns come to mind. Was there ever a time you regretted the severity of your actions?
War is a brutal affair, Schuyler. Difficult decisions must be made to ensure the safety of Rome. However, I have always strived for clemency when possible, even pardoning some of my most vocal critics.
Thank you for your time, Julius Caesar. It seems there are many sides to your legacy.
History is rarely simple. One can only strive to do what they believe is best for their people.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the time we had the honor to spend with the great Gaius Julius Caesar. For now, the vault closes again, but we will reopen it soon with a new fascinating interview partner from the past. Have a nice time until then.